Evening all, and welcome to Retro Gaming Revival Live, Facebook's #1 retro gaming community. Sorry about the slight delays tonight. We've had a few technical issues backstage, but we're all good to go now. So who have we got with us this evening? We've got Blunners.
Hello.
Returning Triangle Face.
Hello.
Intelli-nil.
We are live.
OEB Dawbs 100%. I don't know about that, but we'll get to that later on in the show. And then we've also got tonight's special guest and one of my favourite YouTubers, Rob from Essex Retro Gamer.
Hello.
Welcome. It's nice to have you here this evening. So how's everyone been? I know we were live Tuesday, but how's everyone been the last couple of days?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good.
All good.
Have to say, really enjoyed the stream on Tuesday. Some really good stuff on there. You guys talking to Tommy, it was really good to sit and watch. I think I just had a big smile on my face the whole time I was watching it. Hearing about, mentioning Prince of Persia and talking about Earthworm Jim. So yeah, it was a really good stream. So I enjoyed that.
Thank you. And it's always good to see OEB Dawbs squirm with the
I take it all back. 100%.
And your hemorrhoids got a mention, so that was all good.
Pardon?
Your hemorrhoids got a mention, so
did
yeah, they seem to be a recurring subject on this this channel. Yeah, so let's get right into it tonight. We've got Rob here tonight, and as I say, he's from the YouTube channel Essex Retro Gamer, which I strongly suggest check out. Anyone who's watching, brilliant YouTube channel, and I'm not just saying it because Rob's here, but genuinely he is one of my favourite YouTubers. So Rob, we'll get straight into it. Tell us just a bit about your channel and what we can expect to find on there for people who haven't seen it before.
So I'm trying to be a little bit different. I suppose everybody tries to be a bit different when it comes to YouTube because everything seems to have been done. So I'm trying to come up with strange things. So I've got a couple of bits on there. We do one series called Snog, Marry, Avoid, which you've probably seen the BBC Three program, and really it's trying to pick 3 games. I've got a lot of games and I try to just pick 3 that are going to kind of conflict with each other, and just get people to decide what one. Basically it's what one do you like, what one do you like a little bit, what one do you like a lot, what one do you like a little bit, and what one do you hate. And I tend to try not to put any in that anybody should hate, and it just gets people talking, that's all. So I've tried to be a bit different there. The other day we literally ran over a Nintendo DS in a 4x4 in my 4x4 Discovery, just to see if it would break, and you'll never guess. Well, I'm not even going to spoil it for you for anybody that hasn't seen it. We're doing my fiance, we're literally doing another bit of a playlist on really getting her to learn how to play video games. She's never played a game. She had never played a game before we met. And obviously when you've got this many games and a dedicated games room, it's good to try and get your partner involved as well. And the fact is that, yeah, she's tried to take it on. So we're on about our 7th episode now, just where she tries to take on games. So last week was Castlevania. Never played Castlevania before. Super Castlevania 4. Never played it before in her life. She did all right, to be fair. At one point, I actually thought she was going to kill the first boss, but again, I'm spoiling it. Look, I'm spoiling it. So she's played the Sonic. She's played, the Sonic 1. She played Mario, Mario Brothers, the original one. So she's done a few. So yeah, we're trying. Look, everything's been done, hasn't it? I've got unboxings. Everybody does unboxings. I've shown a couple of bits off that I think are kind of. What it was, I put a question out to the community because it's great, this retro gaming community. What was a holy grail? What do people determine a holy grail? Because I seem to find people just put that to as a monetary thing. So it costs £1,000, it must be a holy grail, even though there's 20 of them or 30 of them or 50 of them available. And then I've had other people think, well, because my daughter bought me that for my 50th or 40th or 30th or whatever age, then that's my holy grail. And it's a very simple sort of statue of Fallout, or the guy out of Fallout or whatever. It's we try. So I asked the question, I got the answers. So I'm now sort of going around my whole collection, trying to display what I believe are my holy grails, and so little things like that. You know, trying to be a little bit different.
Awesome. Something that I do really enjoy on your channel is when you do your finds. You know, when you've gone out on Facebook, Marketplace, and things like that, and you turn up with a load of retro games, consoles, and then you pile it all up, and then you're like, how much do you think this is? And I'm like, it's 100, 200 quid there, and you're like 15 quid for the lot or something. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it costs a fortune to have a game. So you guys will have your own, you know, have got your own game stuff. You know how much it costs, and some of these things, it's always good to try and build the collection and get a bit of money back for something else. So if I go buy a Xbox 360 bundle, they seem so common at the moment, Xbox 360 bundles. If I can go and buy a couple of Xbox 360 bundles, get the consoles themselves and maybe 50 games for, I don't know, 30 quid or something, I might put 20 of those games into the collection, put the other games with the console, clean it up a bit, sell it, and put it up for £50. So I've made 20 quid in the console, and I've gained 20 games for the games room. So unfortunately, it doesn't work for games like Castlevania and you know, hard to find. You don't get boxed all sorts of Super Nintendo games. You generally get Xbox 360 and PS3 games, but there's some gems. I've found some Yakuzas and stuff like that in bundles. Some of the ones that you should always look out for are the PS3 trilogies, like the HD. I know the Silent Hill one's not that good, but people do buy it. People have bought it, and they don't realise what it is. So you can find, you know, you do find the odd great game in them bundles.
Cool. And what have you got on the screen behind you tonight? I can see you've got a game on in the background.
So this is kind of like a hidden gem. This is, or it's not a hidden gem. That's rubbish, and it's just come up there, so you can see.
Here we go.
It's a game called Crime Wave on the Saturn. I really like it. Some people don't even know what it is, but it's not an expensive game. It's under £20. Some people swear by it. Some people don't know what it is, but I think it's a really great game. And I've got just Cool Borders 1, just because I love Cool Borders. I think it's, again, a great game. Again,
Cool Borders.
Yeah, not particularly expensive, but this is cool. The PS2. You know, like Richer Sound's done a special PS2 all-in-one combo with a screen that I
never knew that.
Yeah, it was quite a limited thing. I don't know what the numbers are, but they're getting rarer. Yeah, so it plays PS1 games really well. Just because it's kind of like the screen, you know, you can blow the screen up too much on PS1 games, and you can use your OSSCs and stuff. You know, I've got an OSSC for the bigger screen, but this just plays it. I know it's not that, you know, the screen's not massive, but you just manage to play it quite well. It's just really clear, and it's about the best you can play a PS1 in my opinion, without HDMI modifying and stuff.
I've got the issue now. My setup, that my TV in my lounge is like a 60-inch QLED TV. Which is great for anything with an HDMI lead, but if I plug in an old system, it's just so stretched out. You got to have like a smaller TV for these older systems, you know.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I can see you've got a big Dreamcast collection behind you as well in the background.
Yeah. So this wall behind me is PS1 and Dreamcast. So I don't know how many I've got now. I think there's like 230 total games, and I think I've got about 180 something, so it's not a full set, unfortunately, but I've got a couple of the more expensive ones. I'm missing the two big ones, unfortunately. I haven't got Moho, I think it's called, and I haven't got Cannon Spike either, so we're a couple of big ones missing, unfortunately, but we've got a few of the dear ones. We haven't got a few of the cheaper ones. So
have you got Seaman in there? Is it Seaman?
Yeah, operate. Yeah, no. I haven't got that. Just because it's a very strange game, isn't it? You know, and I'm one of them as well. I have to have it complete, and the little green there's a little green foam bit that goes on the microphone, and it's just disintegrating by now. Like it's quite a rarity to find that green little bit of foam in good condition, and I'd rather not have it if I can't get it in good condition. Unfortunately, I'm a bit strange.
So what are your sort of aims with the collection? Are you just going to carry on building it? There's no limit to what you want to.
It's such a difficult question to answer. I'm in a position where, like, thankfully Joe has wanted to take on Wii U because she wants to collect something as well. So she's took on Wii U, and I'd love to get a Wii U full set, but you know, the boxed items in the Wii U can take up quite a lot of space, and space is at a bit of a premium, to be honest. The room is getting quite full, and I'm not one of these. You know, some people say, "Well, let's just get rid of the Master System collection because you don't really play that." Like, no, you
got to keep the lot.
Yeah, you got to try and keep it all.
We were talking about our gaming regrets, I think, on another stream, and everyone's like getting rid of stuff. Anything you get rid of, it's like, wish I hadn't done that. I think is the main thing. You've got to keep everything.
Well, I went on. It's funny you should say that. Lee, Retro Chef, you might have seen him. He's a friend of mine, and he does a swap shop every couple of weeks. And it's like a community thing where you go on and you offer up things for swap. And the stuff I was swapping at, how I didn't get cut off the swap shop midstream, I don't know, because some of the stuff I was up for, you know, offering up, it just, you might as well put it straight in the bin, because I just can't get rid of anything that's of any decency. You know, anything I'm swapping is. Like, I was swapping a Zelda that literally had a Game Boy Zelda unboxed that literally had the sticker 3/4 ripped off and stuff like that. You know, stuff. Yeah, I can't help it. I just want to keep. I've got such stupid stuff here. I mean, I've had a game like this. I'd say this game, you know, you can't tell what it is, obviously, because it's got no case, it's got no cover. It's not even a dear game. It is Sonic R. But I don't need it. I need to get rid of this, you know, because I need to get the proper Sonic art with the thing. But in my strange, twisted head, there's going to be a cover come up on eBay or a box only or something like that. So I'm going to keep it. And I've had it for like 3 years.
That's exactly like my my Paper Mario for GameCube was like that. Exactly the same. I'm keeping an eye out just for the cover.
You never know, do you? You never know. It might happen one day.
Because with the cover, you're about 150 quid. Without it, I got it for about 60. So I keep an eye out for a cover now.
You just want that empty case of Paper Mario laying over a boot sale somewhere or something.
Yeah, I was looking at getting one imported, but they're only like the American version. I was just like, no, it's got to be the PAL version. It's just like ridiculous to get hold
of. But no, collection-wise, Ryan, I'll be honest, I don't really know. I mean, I'm missing 2 consoles that I really want. One is a CD32, Amiga CD32. I'm
laughing because that's a bone of contention in this.
I don't even know why I want it, if I'm honest.
Ask Dawbs. Dawbs will sell you his for about £1,000.
I've been looking for a box. Again, when I kind of want a really nice one. I'm not saying you haven't got a really nice one, Dawbs. I'm sure you have. But the fact of the matter, I wanted to try and get one that's really nice in the box, and I want to pay. I've set a limit. I'm not paying more than £500. And the fact of the matter is, I can't find a really nice one for £500. So I'm probably never going to own one.
You won't get one for that.
But I'm going to keep waiting. You never know.
No.
Oh, well, I've only recently discovered your channel, but I've had a little look through the videos.
80 quid.
Some good stuff.
Oh, 80 quid. There's always them stories. There's always that one lucky guy that has, or them few lucky people that have managed to get these things really cheap.
Do you know what I found? It's not necessarily a retro game.
I was 15 at the time. So
I had a friend of mine at like one of those Comic-Con type conventions things found a sealed copy of what was called Atmosphere, the game. Like Atmosphere, if you go on eBay or somewhere and look it up, it's like, I think somewhere it sells for hundreds of pounds. Probably 250 a copy of Atmosphere, and he had a sealed one, which someone was selling for like £6.
Atmosphere, the board?
Yeah, the board game. You know, the
How much does that go for?
Oh,
the video.
The video one. I like charity shop that about 3 years ago.
I went online to try and find it. Time over hundreds of pounds. And he just saw one for, I think it was like £6, £10 or something. And he just bought it. So it's like, yeah,
that was probably my one.
It was sealed. It was unopened.
Oh, mine would be open.
Yeah, I think I'd rather. I want to try and get some. I want to concentrate. I want to get Dreamcast finished. Ticked off. But I see other things and I can't help buy them. But yeah, CD32 I want to get, but it's got to be boxed. And I want to get a Neo Geo, but I can't. I've agreed. I'm either going to get an AES or a CDZ, and whatever one comes up in the box for £500 again. I'm just throwing out the £500 number, and again, I'm not going to find them. So I'm probably never going to own these two consoles, but we'll see. You never know.
Awesome. I've just stuck your YouTube channel up on the screen there. So anyone watching, do check out Essex Retro Gamer. It's got some awesome stuff on here.
Yeah, I subscribed today, so you got one more sub.
And I have noticed you've been nominated for an award as well, Rob. Is that right?
Yeah, I only started the channel, and again, Lee really pushed me into it because I've got that, I've been collecting a good few years now. And the fact is that, you don't really know what to do. Like, you get all these games, you amass this room, you love playing games, but you also want to share, you want to share what you've got with other people. You want to, and even like, I had a plasterer, for example, I'll give you an example. I had a plasterer come round, obviously to do some plastering. And he said, "Oh, what? Where was you?" I said, "I was in the games room." He said, "Oh, I'll have a look." This was a while before COVID. He said, "Oh, I'll have a, oh, what do you mean a games room? What, you got a pool table or something?" I was like, "No, games room." And he nearly fell over when he come in. He said, "Why are you not doing something with this? Like, can my son come round? Can we come play games?" And all this. Like, I don't even know him. He wants to come round and play games. So I was just sort of thinking to myself, what do I do? I'm seeing other YouTubers, and there seems to be a great community. And my mates, my best mate's a builder. He don't, he's into some games, but he ain't sad like me. He ain't. So you can have your mates that you go down the pub with, but it's nice to have mates as well that are into games, as well. So you've got both sides of the spectrum covered. So that was the plan for coming on YouTube. So 4 weeks ago, roughly, I decided, right, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to see how it goes. And I use my phone to record. I'm going to get a proper camera, but I use my phone to record. And, my advice to anyone doing YouTube is just like record, just start doing YouTube. I know everybody does that. Everybody says that, don't they? But just all I did was I just got a little tripod, which was about a tenner off of Amazon. And then I started talking rubbish to the camera and showing games. And I got 250 subscribers in 4 weeks. So it's like, I don't know, So yeah, the channel's coming on. I love it. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy talking to people that are into the same stuff as me, because believe it or not, I go into work, the last thing I'm talking about is this massive, game collection, and I go down the pub and they're bored of hearing me talk about games, where there's people that are into this stuff that will never get bored of talking about games. So that was my plan.
I think that's one positive thing that's come out of the last sort of year or so. It's built communities like this. Had it have not been for COVID, would we all be sat here now doing something like this? I possibly not. So I know the last year has been hard, but it has brought people together. The community that we formed on Facebook group Retro Gaming Revival, and then this coming on off the back of that has made things easier, I think, over the last few months, definitely. And like, we all look forward to doing these streams, as you look forward to making your videos as well and putting them online and seeing what the public's reaction are to them.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think I would have done this if it wasn't for that, because I was as well. Look, there has been more of a, I know not for everybody, and I feel for them, but there's been some more disposable income for some people as well, that have been able to not have to travel to work and spend that money, but still obviously be able to do their work from home. So they're saving that money on commuting or going out to restaurants or going down the pub, for example. So you have the ability to then buy some of them consoles you wanted as a kid, or and relive some of that nostalgia. That's the thing.
Cool. Well, we'll just have a quick break now. do stay with us. We'll hear more from Essex Retro Gamer in a minute, but just stay with us, and we'll just have a quick break now. Mainly so Dawbs can sort out his his laptop as well. So we'll be back in 5. Well, welcome back. I don't know if Dawbs has sorted out his laptop yet. He's still very frozen, so we'll just leave him frozen in the corner for now. And
he's all retro. He's all.
That's quick.
Yeah, he's all. Yeah, very, very retro.
Kick me out. Kick me out.
Okay, I'll send you out. I'll give you
I'm
the
on
red
dial-up
card.
internet tonight, so
Yeah, I was going to say that he's on his dial-up
He's gone.
and he's out.
Okay, we'll hear more from Dawbs in a minute, I'm sure. But before then, what I wanted to talk about, because we've got Essex Retro here, is the boom in retro collecting, which is massive at the moment. I would love to get involved in it, but I've had to buy things like a boiler over the last few months, and adult things that just ruin fun. But the boom in retro collecting, so where do people think this is going to go? Are we at a boom now, or is it just going to get bigger? Things are going to get more expensive.
Yeah, I think you've covered a lot of points. What you're just saying, people have been not spending as much money on travel and going out, and they've got a lot more money going. Like when you guys were talking with Tommy Tallarico on the other stream, he was asked
who was that?
A lot of people in our age range.
To?
When you speak to Tommy on Tuesday,
Tommy
Tallarico.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
When you guys are talking about the Amico, having your children play, and a lot of people in our age, our generation now, homeowners and having children and things like that. And you think, if you want to start getting your kids into games, it's a lot easier to get your kids into old retro games because they're a lot simpler. They're pick up and play, and they're not online, and you're not having to worry about who your kids are speaking to over the internet and things like that. You can get them into retro devices, and also you kind of want to share what you had. You say I played this game when I was a kid. I'm going to get my kids to play it because they might enjoy it. So I think there's an element of that in there. And then again, that people just into collecting stuff and actually having a budget to do it now, and building that collection up. And it's addictive though, isn't it? I find I really enjoy just buying new stuff. I don't necessarily use it as much as I want to, but I really enjoy seeing something that I want online and then ordering it and it arriving and getting it out of the box and looking at it. And then you see something else, that looks really good too. And you just end up just buying more stuff and building up, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about playing old retro games with your kids. I mean, I dragged my son off his Oculus Quest the other day, and I says, "Come in here. I'm going to show you the VR I had back in my day." And I've got the Master System set up on the CRT. I've got Operation Wolf on, and we've got the light gun out. And he was playing away, and I just sat behind him on the bed watching him play for about 45 minutes. And I just sat there, and I just big smile on my face, thinking, "This is great. It's great that he's loving this."
Same. Well, I think it's not going to stop because at the minute, problem I got is I see something I want, I then put the link on eBay, and I'm every day I'm checking it. There's one come on that's cheaper. There's one come on that's cheaper. And that's how I ended up getting that that Famicom and all that. It's just because one came on, I thought, yep, I'm having that. Something like 30 quid, bang. Do you know what I mean? And even if it is ashtray yellow, I don't care. I'll chemical it up and get it back. But yeah, like you said, and then I've realised that I've literally just managed to get myself a little cupboard, which I'm going to try and start doing up. But I've got to keep stop myself from buying other things that are on there on my list.
Honestly, it gets so addictive. I mean, you can, I would say that, but collecting games and the problem with it is it never ends. But in answer to your question, do I think that I don't think it can get much. I mean, we said this about house prices. I know we said this about classic cars. I mean, I was an RS man through and through, and my Escort Cosworth that I sold for 15 grand is now worth probably 50 grand in 3 or 4 years. So it is crazy. Everything nostalgia, everything retro has gone up in such huge amounts. And some of the games, even, I mean, I like Puppeteer on the PS3. There's a game on the PS3 called Puppeteer, and it's making such waves at the moment. I do not understand why. It's not a great game or anything, and I had it in my hand in CEX for like £18, maybe 7 or 8 months, or maybe 6 months ago, just before the second lockdown. And now it's like £100. And like, how did it go up by 5 times in 7 months? And you're going people, and there's people that are trying to sell it for hundreds and hundreds of pounds sealed. And you talk to the groups I'm on, I mention it to people on the groups I'm on, and it's a well-known game now. Everybody's talking about it. And they're like, yeah, I've got it sealed. And then the next one, yeah, I've got it sealed. Yeah, I've got it sealed. And there's like 4 or 5 people in this one group of collectors, of 20 people that have got it sealed. That just can't, I just can't see how it can keep going up. It's just a game that you can emulate. I'm not really into emulation anyway, but it's a game that you're going to be able to emulate at some point. And
I find games are meant to be played, aren't they? If I had a game, I don't think I'd pay a lot of money to get a sealed game, because I'm going to open it. I'm going to want to play the thing. So that doesn't appeal to me. But I understand there's a real collection where you want to have stuff up in your display and keep stuff sealed in box and that sort of thing. But that's just not my style. I'd want to get out and play with it. That's what games are for.
My dad always used to say to me, this is like many years ago, and when we sadly watched like the Antiques Roadshow on a Sunday, and someone had a toy that was sealed, and he was like, who got that as a kid and kept it sealed? Toys are meant to be played with. They're not meant to be, here's your toy for your present, but put it up in your room, never touch it for 50 years and see how much it's worth.
Well,
I'm quite into it. Go on.
No, I was just going to say I'm exactly the same. I'm trying to collect. I want to get Power Drive Rally on the Jaguar. It's getting to be silly prices now, and you can actually, a lot of Jaguar games, because it didn't sell that well, are actually, you buy them sealed. Like if you want to buy Bruce Lee, there's a Bruce Lee game on the Jaguar. It's the same price sealed as it is unsealed. Now, I would never buy the sealed one, even though I know it's mint in the seal, and take it, and I can buy it and unseal it. It's my game. I can do whatever I want with it. But I'd still rather buy an unsealed one, because I couldn't bring myself to unseal a game that's been sealed for that long. But I'm not saying you shouldn't, and I agree with you. You should play it. But what I'm saying is,
you want to leave that to someone who wouldn't want to do that, so that give them a chance to buy it instead.
Same as N-Gage. I'm trying to collect N-Gage. I haven't got many. I've maybe got 10 N-Gage games, and they're the same. The all across the spectrum. The $7.90, the £8 games, the £100 games. You can buy them for roughly the same price sealed. It's not like some of these other games. If you get a Tetris on the Nes, for example, sealed is ridiculous compared to unsealed. But these N-Gage games and these Atari Jaguar games, they're no different. They're roughly the same. They're not far away anyway. If you look it up,
We've got a question here. I think you answered Essex Retro. Question for the panel: what is the main system that you collect for? And that's from friend of the show, Snes-tastic, the Amico kid. So hope you're doing well. Nice to have you joining us again tonight. So if we start with you, Rob. Did you say Dreamcast? That's the main one that you collect for?
Yeah, I think it's certainly, if you're talking about the ratio of how many games to how many exist, I would say it's the Dreamcast. The console I like collecting for the most, it's tough because it's between two. One of them is the Mega Drive, because I love collecting Mega Drive games, and you can get them in really nice condition because they're well protected. They're made pretty well, box wise, etc. But in complete contrast, the other system I like collecting for is N64, and the reason I like collecting for them is to find those ones that are in really good condition and have been looked after. But at the same time, that's very difficult to do. So yeah, Mega Drive.
Do you have a Jaguar CD? You mentioned the Jaguar.
No. I'm not a millionaire or anything. No, I can't, because again, I won't buy one without the box. So straight away, if I'm not going to buy it without the box, I need to be coming up with over £1,000 for an add-on. That what we're going to play, Mist. I mean,
That was a classic. That was.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't a classic, but you can play it on other things
as well. Riven was a sequel, I think, or the first one, but I don't on the PlayStation, that one.
Yeah, look, by all means, I'm not saying I don't want one, Trust me. If there were, if it came up and it was affordable at the time, I'd be buying one. But I can't. I don't. What I did, and this is another piece of advice to collectors, really. I went through a phase of buying things without the box, and I said, "Oh, well, I'll get the box one day." And I don't need boxes anyway. You don't play with the box; you play with a console, But if you're an actual collector that likes playing games, but you are you really do value the collecting bit, you're going to want the box at some point. I mean, I've got a big collection of N64 games unboxed, like car only, because I was only going to have car only. And now I'm at about maybe 50 boxed N64 games. And I'm like, why did I ever go with it? Now I'm buying, I'll give you a real life example. 3 days ago, I bought, because I'm getting into Game Gear boxed now as well. I haven't got that many. I've got a lot of unboxed Game Gear games. So I've got Chuck Rock unboxed, very common game, got Chuck Rock cartridge only. I'm looking on eBay and someone's got Chuck Rock, the box, manual and innards, really nice condition for 22 quid. So I was like, well, I'll do a best offer of £15. So I'll buy the box for £15. Now that's going to complete my Chuck Rock thing. I walk into the local retro shop near me, which is a Retro Hunter in Benford. Well, it's in Leon C, around the corner to me. He's got Chuck Rock boxed in lovely condition for £12. So it's madness. It's madness. If you ever have an inkling in your head that you are going to get the box one, don't buy the unboxed one, because you might as well wait. It's so difficult to find boxes on their own.
Yeah, but before I ask Blunners the same question, I have found an Atari Jaguar CD for you, Rob.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
£59 a month for 24 months.
Oh, where do I sign?
£1,249. That look excellent condition. You get both. You get the console, the CD, and a super rare, excellent condition. So,
well, Dawbs looks interested there. He's come
let's have a look at the pit. Look at that.
I mean, it
£59 a month.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Watch it, Ryan. See how much. See if it sells.
That tab don't look good on that picture, though, does it? If you look around at that other, the last picture you was on.
That one.
Oh, yeah, busted,
that's not good.
No,
you can probably knock 50 quid off of that. So 1,999.
But yeah, here we go. What game does that come with? What game have we got there? Iron Soldier, Highlander, the last of the. I can't even read that.
No missed.
No missed. So you're out, are you?
That's it. Well, it's got the polystyrene, which makes a change. To be honest.
Yeah.
It's just a hell of a. I mean, it's lovely that, and it would be nice to have it. It's one of them things, but it's not on the list of. It's a bit unobtainable at the moment. I'd rather get like a Sega Nomad. I really want a box Sega Nomad. Would be lovely, but you've got to import them because they.
Good luck. Yeah.
Country, Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you've got it to hand, but can you share that awesome Sega Saturn that you got from the house clearance? I think it was a Saturn.
Yeah, I should be able to. 1 minute.
Yeah, whilst Rob does that, what console, Blunners, are you sort of collecting for at the moment?
Well, mainly it was the N64, and the thing is, I'd like to get like the main, like the games, if you know what I mean, for each console. So that mean to me. So I've got like boxed Zelda 1 and 2 for the NES up in there. But the main one for the N64 is like I've got the Banjo-Kazooie games. Conker's Bad Fur Day. These are all boxed. Super Smash Bros. I mean, all like the main ones which meant stuff to me as I was growing up, really. As I said, they're all boxed. But yeah, mainly as a Nintendo. I did look. You think that Jaguars? Try looking up a Nintendo 64 Double D adapter that only came out in Japan. Looking at about $5,000. So yeah, people only got it on loan now in Japan. They had to pay like £22 a month or something for it at the time. Jeez. Yeah, that was my main N64.
I mean, Conker's now in good condition is a ridiculous. There's people wanting £400 for that game in really good condition. But it's all based on condition. It's all But that one little crease is like £50, £100 difference with some of these games. Resident Evil 2 as well. I mean, I haven't got Conkers or Resident Evil 2. And Resident Evil 2 is probably now a £200 game, which is just, I mean, it blows my mind. Like Paper Mario, you were saying earlier, sorry, that you haven't got the cover, but Paper Mario is a £120, £140 game if the card isn't scratched inside. And the fact of the matter is, I had it in my hand before lockdown for £70, and I said, "Oh, I don't know, it's a bit dear." Wow. It's like
it's really because with all the different emulating consoles coming out and all the different emulators you can get and built-in things. A lot of these games you can get as part of collections on emulators, but the actual original cartridges and boxes is where they just get really expensive. Like, you can actually get access to the games fairly easily, nowadays, because there's a lot of different all-in-one retro devices, isn't there? You can get, and your Pandora's boxes and things like that. We talk about the N64 red cartridge you can get and that sort of thing.
Yeah. To be fair, with the I did actually when I got my Xbox Series X, like the new one, I managed to. It was developer mode going around where you could turn it into developer mode and then I would actually put Paper Mario on it, 1,000 Year Door. This is before I bought it, just to have a quick go, just to see what was all the fuss. Because if anyone plays a Paper Mario game, they always go on about 1,000 Year Door and say how good it was.
Yeah.
So, like you're saying, I think with like if you've got the brand new Xbox, which you can now get to run RetroArch, you can pretty much play anything on it.
Well, I do have a few RetroPie sort of boxes, and the N64 ones. A, the N64 emulation doesn't run particularly well, and B, I don't want to map. They do work, but you have to map the keys to like a PlayStation style controller that I've got with it, and it's just not the same as playing on an N64 controller. So I had to get myself the N64 red cartridge with the games on. You plug it into N64, and then at least I'm playing on an N64 with an N64 controller in my hands, and it feels a lot more authentic.
I've got that as well.
It is really an emulation still, isn't it? But yeah, and that's got paper. I've started playing Paper Mario on that.
I ordered that the other day from AliExpress. Hopefully, it should be here within the next few days.
I think I've got mine.
In the next 30 or 40 days, yeah.
Well, I ordered it about.
There's my one.
So I'm
Supercar.
Oh, hold it there, Tim. I'll put you on solo. Hold that.
There we go. The Supercar.
Show the top.
Bargain.
What's
the other side? It's just like an SD card port. You can put like the ROMs in. I don't know how much I got this one for, actually. I think it varies if you shop around. I think I managed to get mine for like 45 quid, I think it was, 40 quid.
I bought mine on AliExpress for £42.25.
Yeah. Mine was probably more than that, I think, because I got it fairly quickly.
Does it come with that WCW versus the World? Is that on there?
I don't know. There is definitely a WCW game on there because it's got like WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy.
Is it Revenge?
NWA Revenge. I think it does. I'll double check for it.
Yeah, Revenge is on there. Yeah.
Yeah, is it on there? Yeah. I've only had it for a little while, so I've only like dabbled in a few games. But I've been playing Paper Mario and some of the other wrestling ones, like WrestleMania 2000 was an old favourite of mine. I've actually got the original cartridge of WrestleMania 2000 in my loft with all my old N64 games, and I'm playing a copy of it on a red cartridge.
How about this was the this was
here
the
we
Saturn.
go.
I couldn't. I nearly fainted. I'll be honest. I did a quick video on it, and hopefully in the video my shock comes across well. There's a house clearance store near me, and I normally try and get into the local area when I can, just to have a quick look around the charity shops. And I cannot drive past this store without going in there. And I think every time I've gone in there, I've never really seen anything. There's been the odd thing, but I've never really seen anything decent. And I walked in, and in the glass cabinet at the back, there's this. And I didn't. I'll be honest, I didn't see it from the start. I wasn't looking at this. I saw a Saturn 3D controller, the Japanese 3D controller, and I was like, "What? They got a Saturn controller? Like, I need to, this shop. I can't explain to you how not normal it was that a 3D Saturn controller was in this shop." So I was like, what's going on here? So I walk up and I see this, and it's just sitting there, and I'm like, that's a strange memory card. Like, I've never seen one of them memory cards before in a Saturn. And why have they got a Japanese Saturn in a house clearance shop, just around where I'm from? And so I go up to it, and I can see Signosis written written on the memory card, or what I thought was the memory card at the time. And I was like, hold up, this is something weird. And then I looked to the side of it, and it's got £60, you know, on a little ticket. And I was like, £60? Is he like, what? This can't be. We need to buy this. So like, I need to buy this immediately before someone else sees. Like, this can't be right. So I walk up to the thing and I said, "Is that right? That's £60 with that other controller and the 3D controller." And he was like, "Yeah." And he looked at me as if I was a lunatic paying £60 for this. And then I opened, as I was walking out of the shop, I said to my partner, because she, you know, she doesn't know what this is or what. Or what it is, but she was like, you know, what's the matter? Why are we rushing out the shop? I said, because we need to put this in the car quick, and then we need to go back in and look and see if they've got any other stuff, because if they realise what that is, they're not going to sell it for £60. They didn't have a clue. But yeah, I saw the adapter. It didn't come with the board, unfortunately. This is a Saturn development kit, a Signosis development kit. This blue piece is really rare. Apparently, there's very little information on the internet. There's only a couple of bits. The Saturn itself is not, I don't believe it's particularly modified. It's just a connector here. But the actual, this blue bit is, you know, is I don't know what it's worth really. It hasn't really got a price, I don't think. There aren't many that sell, or there's not many available. Well, there's none available. I'm saying there's not many available. There's none available. There's a yellow board that comes with it. It's like a interface board, I believe, that apparently really is like, there's like none. And I did call it cheekily. I did call it once I discovered that this yellow board, to turn it into an actual development. I mean, it is a development kit, but if I actually wanted to develop Sega Saturn games, which I have absolutely no desire or ability to do, if I did, I would need this yellow board. So I thought I'll ring him up, because, you know, and I rang him and said, "Oh, that Saturn that you just sold." He's like, "What do you mean? What's a Saturn?" Well, the computer, the grey thing that you sold. There wasn't a yellow board with it, and he said anything that it would have come with, if it wasn't for the Saturn, it would have been thrown away. I was like, "Oh well." Okay. And this board is probably worth thousands, I suppose, more than what this is.
They could throw it away, not knowing what it is.
Yeah, I did see. I think I saw one that was. No, there was someone banding around some numbers online, and I had a couple of people contact me and say they wanted to buy it from the Sega Saturn group that I posted it on. But I'll never. It's another one of them things. It's a story, isn't it? You know, it's a memory. You don't. I'm never
it's always great when
I can't replace it.
Yeah, it's always great when you get those situations where you find a shop like that doesn't know what they've got, and you look and think, are they really selling it for that much? I had a similar thing with. I used to be into getting 40k models. And they are very rarely resold, because people don't tend to sell those sort of things. And there was like a secondhand. It was mostly secondhand games. They sold all sorts. And in the window, they had a whole bunch of like Warhammer models in the front that were like just base painted. And don't know if you know the cost differences of Warhammer stuff, but like a model is normally like in a set of 10, won't be a lot. But you sometimes get special characters that do things in the game, and then the model itself was worth a lot more. And they had all these characters lined up, and they're selling all of them for the same price. I was like, I'm just going to get the ones that are actually characters for the game that do stuff. I just bought them all for like only a few quid. So again, I don't think they knew what they had. So when you find stuff,
it's having the knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, when I walked in, I didn't know what it was. I'd never seen a Signosis development kit. I knew who Signosis was, and I knew, basically, it is really, it is. But I knew Signosis was. I knew it was a Saturn. I knew it was a Japanese grey one. I've got the white. I've got a Japanese white one. I've got a couple of the normal one, you know, European ones. But I was like, well, I want that grey Saturn anyway, and £60 cheap enough for that. And I mean, the 3D controller goes for about £40. So, and I didn't have a white 3D controller, and that was going. Oh, you know, I'm telling my train of thought. I'm telling you my exact train of thought. But I'm like, I just want the 3D controller, like let alone whatever that is.
So I think Saturn's one of those systems I never got to play much. That's one system I don't own that I think I'd like to have as a Saturn. Because again, I've got some emulators and things like that. I've got a few Saturn ROMs, but nothing plays a Sega Saturn a game properly on an emulator. You kind of need to play it on a Saturn, so that's one thing. we're talking about new mini consoles coming out. If they bring out a Sega Saturn Mini, I'd probably be.
I think it's just really difficult to emulate, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah.
Brought it out yet.
I forgot to tell you there was also a surprise in the drive. Are we gonna whoever hasn't seen the video? I don't know, Ryan, if you've seen the video, so you can't answer if you have.
I've seen the video.
Is anybody guessing what game came in this console?
Knights.
Okay.
Panzer Dragoon.
Panzer Dragoon. I mean.
Dynamite.
Anyone else, or are we all out for Knights?
How many guesses do we get?
Sonic R.
Yeah, I mean, it's known. It was. I don't know how to. Yeah, I'll give you the. It's a 2D fighting game. It's a fighting game. 2D fighting.
Virtual Fighter.
Oh, I remember now. 100% remember.
Yeah. It's the classic. That is Street Fighter the movie.
Street Fighter the movie, the game.
The battle on film, or real battle on film.
Real battle.
Real battle on film. It's basically Street Fighter with like Mortal Kombat style sprites. The video style sprites. But even that, I opened it. I was like, well, that's got to be worth a tenner as well. So then I've got a development kit for a Saturn for £10, basically.
Nice.
It's the find. I'm never going to find. I'll never. That I don't believe that I've had two big finds in my collecting life, or my collecting, or two major, or what I would consider as major finds. One is that one, and the other one is my automobile, blue automobile PS2, which I found all boxed, and another very, very rare item. But it like I say, if it wasn't me, it would have been someone else. I was just lucky. It's just pure luck, and I haven't been lucky in other times. I've had to pay full money for a lot of things. I talk to people like you described then, 50 quid for a CD32. I know you was younger, but I wasn't the kid that bought the not normal console. I didn't buy the 3DO or the CDI or the CD32. I had a Super Nintendo like everyone else, or a Mega Drive. I wish I was. I genuinely wish I was the kid that did get a Panasonic Q imported or something, because I was right out there, and my best friend was Japanese or something like that. But unfortunately not. So.
That's what I want, the Q.
Yeah, I mean, again, I did get I have got one, and I did buy the Q when it was a little bit cheaper, but I still paid a lot of money for it. And I wish I could go back in time and buy it. Like you said, I mean, one of you guys said about the Jaguar CD. There was like a pallet full of Jaguar CDs found sealed, and I don't believe they was very expensive years ago. And if only we could go back and buy them, eh?
I believe Game was selling them in the mid 2000s. I recall for about 10 quid for a Jaguar box, brand new. Because they just couldn't get rid of them. They were obviously just stuck in their warehouse somewhere. And it's moments like that you look back on, like, why didn't I just pick one up?
Yeah, for a
I saw it and I would have laughed and just thought, what a load of rubbish that is. Who wanted a Jaguar in 2005? But
Alien versus Predator is my only. I want Power Drive. I've got Alien versus Predator. I would love to have Power Drive Rally, but like I say, I can't find it. Other than that, I mean, what do you want to, what do you buy? Like, what else is there on the Jaguar? Tempest. Everybody says Tempest, but you haven't got the the round wheel or whatever. Like, what else do you buy on an Atari on a Jaguar?
Yeah,
I've got Power Drive for the Amiga if you're interested.
Yeah, well, I haven't. Yeah, I mean, I've got it on Mega Drive, but it just ain't the same, unfortunately. Yeah, but then I think the Amiga version's pretty good, isn't it? They do say. Yeah.
I've had it. When did I get it? Probably at 25 years ago. Really good.
Yeah, Wolfenstein is the other one, isn't it? If we're honest, yeah. I had forgot about that one. It is the other game that.
So Neil, what are you collecting for at the moment? I know you've brought a lot of consoles recently.
I tend to buy the consoles and a couple of games, and then move on to the next console. Yeah, mainly I collect for Super Nintendo. I'll buy any crap, even yellowed cartridges like this.
Oh, let's get it on screen. Let's have a look. Show it again.
It's the
game. That's a good game. FIFA 96. Save that because we've got a Euro 2020 special coming up in 3 weeks. So save that one for that.
I'll have to get it on the screen.
Definitely. Yeah, you need to get it on there.
Any football game you can literally score a Pele from the halfway line is a pretty good football game as far as I'm concerned.
Definitely. Yeah, so FIFA 96 was a really good game. I think it was 97 when David Ginola done all the animations for it. But 96 was a decent game looking back on it. Now, I think it was the first one with real players. Someone may correct me it was real players, but a season behind. So you got you plugged it in, and it was like Norwich and Ipswich are still in the Premier League. It's like, it's already out of date, but it's a brand new game. I used to hate it when things done that, but that is a good game, Neil. Don't be disappointed with it. It's a good football game, definitely. And Dawbs, what are you collecting for at the moment?
I've bought quite a lot of PS2 games last couple of months. I said previously I sold them all PS1 and PS2 games like a knob. I just sold them all. Don't know why. Ridiculous.
Don't ever do that.
I know. I don't know why I did it. Just years ago, I needed the money, but don't get me wrong. But so I just started collecting for PS2. Get quite a lot of bulk buys. So you can probably pick up like 50 games on eBay for 40 quid, 45 quid. Some of them are turkeys, but some of them are quite good. But I'm always on the lookout for PS1, PS2 games. I even went to Cash Converters today in my lunch break. Had a look around there. Had a couple of good ones. Didn't buy anything. But yeah, PS2 for me all day long.
Awesome. And Tim, I think we covered you, but is there anything that you're sort of collecting for?
I don't know if I tend to buy like all-in-one things. Like, the most recent thing I got was that red cart. I recently upgraded the Pandora's box I've got on my arcade cabinet. I think I showed you before we went on, but I'll get down. This is my one of my arcade cabinet.
Well, let me get you on solo.
Let's see. That's the if I move on there. So that's my arcade cabinet that I had. So inside is the actual box, and I found a different box online, which was only about 30 quid. And the box that it came with was a Pandora's Box 4. It had about 300 games in it. And I found one online that had 3,000 games on it, which included the 300 that was in the old one. So I'm not even going to bother swapping around. So I've kept hold of that. I've got a few Retro Pie boxes where I've got big games lists. And I get things like Xbox Game Pass and games with gold on PlayStation and that sort of thing. So I get a lot of my games from there. And I've got the Oculus Quest 2. And the games on there are like, range from about 15 to 20 quid. So you're not spending as much on a new game from there. So I don't have as much physical media as you guys really. I don't have my shelves of all my cartridge stuff, like my Mega Drive and my NES and SNES stuff is all up in the loft in storage at the moment. But if I want to play those games, I'll play them on the emulators for now. But a lot of the games I play on emulators have actually got the original cartridges. They're just not out on display for ease. So
yeah, well, you certainly got more than me. I haven't. I think I've got my NES still at my parents', which isn't in great shape. I think the flap snapped off. One of my mates broke it. Once I got my Mega Drive, lent it to him. He broke that. Haven't got my Mega Drive anymore.
Oh, savage.
And, yeah,
so actually, if you go onto my channel, not my gaming channel, I've got another comedy channel. We had my original Mega Drive was broken. I was with a mate of mine, and he's like, "Oh, just throw it out." I was like, "You can't throw out a Mega Drive." It's like, "What are you going to do?" It's like, "Well, maybe we should do a video where we destroy it or something." So we made a comedy sketch. We're playing Street Fighter with my new Mega Drive that I bought to replace it, and he loses the game, pulls the cartridge out, and just smashes up the Mega Drive with a hammer, and goes mad because just because Mega Drive's broken. It's like, let's just make a video where we smash up the Mega Drive.
There's collectors here, Tim. They're not laughing. Yeah. They're not laughing at that.
I don't want to throw it out. I was just going to break. I bought a new Mega Drive, so I bought a new Mega Drive. There's a working one.
Yeah, what was it?
I did keep the bit that says Sega on the front. There was like a bit of plastic broke off, was perfectly around the Sega bit, and I kept that.
Oh, no, you're making it worse.
In my games room, I had a little broken Sega thing just on the shelf.
Was it a Mark 1 or 2?
It was a Mega Drive 2. Yeah, this is a Mega Drive 2 one, and the replacement was a Mega Drive 2 as well.
Yeah, I gave away all my PlayStation 1 collection when I had a PS2, then I got an Xbox 360, and I thought no one wants PS1 games now. I just gave them all to my dad taking to work. I had about 60 games, just gave them all away.
Oh,
Like those moments that you look. I had Street Fighter the movie on PlayStation 1 that's about £100 now on eBay, and which I got like with my PlayStation, and I thought this is the worst game ever. But you know, I couldn't wait to get out the door. Yeah. But yeah, that was a mistake. But you know, there's nothing I can do about it now. It is what it is.
I think this system I've got the most games for is probably the Mega Drive, because I've got all my original Mega Drive cartridges still. I think that, you know, their cases were pretty good. They're the plastic cases rather than the cardboard ones. They keep really well. So I've still got quite a big collection of Mega Drive games in a big box up in the loft. But we always used to get the official PlayStation 2 magazine and get they always came with a demo disc. I think me and my brother subscribed to it for like months, and every month we got the demo disc. We had a shelf in our bedroom which just had all these 2 years worth of demo discs from the official PlayStation magazine. And when we were moving out and stuff, and I was the last one to move out, and he wants all this like boxes and boxes worth of demo discs, and then neither me or my brother wanted them. It's like, I'll give them to a charity shop, because they could probably find someone who's into, but they can make some money off of that, because I don't think anyone's going to want to buy a demo disc. I look back now thinking probably really nostalgic to go back and play the demo disc from like a really old PlayStation magazine and see what was on there. Would have been a really nice thing to have kept.
I always remember the demo that came with the original PlayStation 1.
Yeah,
and you
demo
could move that like dinosaur thing around.
Yep.
And then it also had Formula 1 you could do, and a level
Ballerina
of Crash
Shinden
Bandicoot
was on there. Yeah, and Ballerina Shinden was on there. I think you could play as 2 characters.
Here we go.
Got it. When I was doing some videos on my channel years ago, I wanted to do a video of Demo 1, and I went around trying to see if anyone found it, and I never found a copy, so I never did it. But I wanted to review Demo 1 as a video, but I just never got to do it because I couldn't find a copy.
Well, feel free, I'll send it to you if you want. You can do a video on it.
Well, that would involve me posting more content. Yeah, I may take you up on that. That might be me getting back in front of the camera again. Who knows?
Before we move on to the next bit, just one quick question for you, Rob, does Rob have any rare N64 games he may have brought recently? National Retro Chef.
Yeah, there's one in particular that Batman. Let me grab it. I'll grab it. 1 minute.
Cool. We'll have a quick break whilst you do that. That's got a special offer for everyone, and then we'll just be right back. And he's still not back. Here he is.
I am. Yeah. I beat Dawbs back as well. Yeah. So what it is that we've got basically a friend of ours in the sort of retro gaming group believes that if something is only rare if you literally can't buy it. So if it just is not available in any of the places you would normally buy a game, then that is what considers it as rare. So I don't think we believe that, but he certainly does. And one of the games I picked up the other day was Batman, but the comic book one. So Batman of the Future. It's a terrible game. It's a really bad game. And I think on PS1, I think it was released on PS1 as well. I haven't got it on PS1, but I think on PS1 it's maybe like a £5. But on N64 it's, I don't know, anywhere between 100 and something and 200, I suppose, depending on condition. And I didn't pay that for it. I managed to get a bit of a deal on it. But it's one of them games that's like with retro collecting, it's mad, isn't it? The games that no one bought, other than some exceptions, games like Castlevania on PS1 that everybody loved, is a very expensive game.
Was that Symphony of the Night?
Yeah. But it's it's a very expensive game, but it's not rare. There's 20 of them on eBay now, probably. I don't know if they're complete on eBay, but there's a lot of them on there. But it was a good game. This was a horrifically bad game at the end of the run, at the end of the N64's life, roughly. That is an expensive game because of how I won't swear, because of how rubbish it is, you know, where this one is a ridiculously expensive game because of how good it is. I don't really know how it works, you know. I mean, I've got, like, for example, I've got Snatcher as well on Mega CD. It's an expensive game, but everybody's got it, and people actually renown, you know, it's renowned as a good game. So again, I don't know how it works, guys. Like what determines, and maybe that's a question to ask you guys, what do you think determines a game's value? Because the way I see it, it's nearly impossible to know for sure what makes a game expensive.
So many variables, isn't there?
Yeah,
it's like you say, if it's a good game, it'll be expensive. If it's a rubbish game, it could be expensive. If it's something that you remember playing as a child and it's special to you, you know, that might make it expensive. It's just such a lottery, isn't it?
It's crazy.
It really is. We're just going to move on now to, what do we want to do? What's an OEB Dawbs box? Or do we want to talk? Neil's nodding his head. Before we move on, I just want to say it's a shame Nintendo Ollie isn't with us tonight, but obviously Triangle Faces are more than, you know, we're more than happy to have you with us. But just a shout out to Nintendo Ollie, who couldn't be with us this evening. I should have done that at the start, so I apologise for that. So we want to do what's an OEB Dawbs box. Dawbs, you ready?
Let's go for it.
Okay. So. Do you know how this works? Well, you explain the rules to.
Yeah, do you know how it works, Essex?
No, I mean I have watched your streams a few times, and I'm sure this
Essex?
has been on.
Like David Essex.
I was so confused.
Go on. So yeah, basically, I've got this, as you can see, very stylish box here. As you can see,
it's well coloured. Yeah, well coloured.
It is. Do you know what? I've actually coloured it in the other day. I've got some highlighters. I know.
Excellent work.
Excellent work.
But it's all my own work. So basically, in here, I've got either a console, a game, peripheral. It could be a movie based on a game. So the lads and yourself have got 20 questions to guess what it is. I'll just answer yes or no. So shoot.
I didn't know if that's what it was. I actually do know exactly what this was because we was talking about it before. The one that you did the other day, I hope it ain't as hard as that because that was ridiculous.
Britney's dance beat.
No, John Barnes.
European football or something.
So hard.
John Barnes, that's a classic.
Right, so Rob, go on. You go. Yes, again.
Very easy. Very easy today.
Is it? I'll ask the usual ones. Is it a game?
Yes.
Go on, Neil.
My pen isn't working.
Is it a CD-based game?
Not the one I have, no.
Is it from the 90s?
Yes.
Triangle Face?
90s. Well, because they're often quite obscure, this is a complete stab in the dark, but if it's right, it'll really narrow down quickly. But is it a game featuring Mary and Kate Olsen?
What?
That's a very good.
The Olsen twins.
No.
Mary Kate and Ashley, that's it. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
No.
It's not one of those. There's a surprising amount.
I might get that in the future.
There's a surprising amount of Mary Kate and Ashley games, you know.
That's quite a strange choice to go for, but yeah, fair
play. Is it a sports game?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Go on, Rob.
The console that it plays on, is it black?
Yes.
Yes. Ooh. No.
Is it a driving game?
No.
Is it on the N64?
No, it's a CD-based game.
Oh, but he said it's cartridge.
CD, yeah.
No. That doesn't count.
Oh,
that
okay.
doesn't count.
Sorry.
No,
come back to me then. Come back.
Yeah, it said the copy that he's got isn't CD based.
Yeah.
Triangle Face.
So it's a CD sports game, but not driving. Is it a football game?
I don't really know how to answer that.
Well,
Is it a football?
It's football. It's not
Is
football.
it a football manager game then? Is it a football management game?
Football manager game? No.
Yeah.
No.
Blunners?
The American football game.
I don't really know. Again, I don't know how to answer that. That's probably a big clue, actually. What I'm saying.
You
there.
don't know how to answer. It's not a. So it's kind of a football game, not a football manager
What's
game,
that
or an
game
American football game.
That's on the Jaguar, that like American football.
Or is it like what was it called? Like Mutant League?
Mutant League football.
Mutant League football. Yeah.
Mutant League football.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Go on, Rob.
Right, you've got 11 left. Make them count.
I'm struggling already here. So it's not. Let's go through what we've actually determined. It's not a CD-based game, but it can be a CD-based game, by the way you were saying it.
So is yours a CD game?
Not the copy I've got.
No, he said no.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's
Sorry,
not a
Blunners,
CD-based
that was
game.
my fault.
It's played on a black console.
That's what I said N64.
No.
Yeah, well,
90s
ask that question then,
football game.
Blunners. Is it an N64 game?
Not the version I got.
Oh, for God's sake.
Cartridge 90.
So it's a Mega Drive game, isn't it? Has to be.
Is that a
If it's a
question?
black.
Yeah, is it a Mega
Yes.
Drive game? Yes,
Yes.
okay, Mega Drive game. And I don't know how I need to phrase this properly because I've got the feeling it's going to be a football game, but not a football game. So is it like a, is it a fictional sport? Like it's not a real sport?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like Retro Chef said in the chat, is it Speedball 2?
Well done, Retro Chef. Because
Oh, get in.
it is
Did we win one?
Speedball 2 for the Mega Drive.
Well, that's our win. We won.
Nice. We did it. Well, Retro Chef did it first.
Retro Chef. So yeah, there it
We
is.
would have got there.
Is a win. Us versus you.
Amazing.
£10.95.
What's that, about 8-1?
Comes with there's instructions.
Ooh, let me
Wow.
put you back on
All
solo.
right.
Look at those beautiful instructions.
Nice.
There it is.
Ooh, I thought you would have had the Amiga version.
I know, he's always got Amiga, hasn't he?
No, Amiga's too obvious. So well done, Retro Chef.
Whoa, that's our win. That's our win.
Put those goals to shame again. But it come up on the screen about 2 minutes ago, whenever it was. I was like, surely they're going to ask that.
Wow, we would have got
Well
there
done, Retro
eventually.
After having Britney's dance beat, I thought perhaps a Mary Kate and Ashley game was
No,
a
I did say it's
possibility.
going to be very easy.
So I thought
didn't
I'd do a punt.
It's very, very easy.
Well, it's
Of course,
always an
This is coming
exciting
out
part.
coming out on the bitmap cartridge for the Evercade soon.
It
so
is, yeah.
Snap it
Yeah.
up
3 versions.
Along with, pardon?
One
in 6
slot.
months. 6 months time.
Yeah, if you're into Speedball, that bitmap cart will be for you. And the Evercade's got 2 other versions of Speedball.
I do think
If you're a
that's
fan of
weird,
Speedball,
isn't
that
it?
is
Like, why put all the speedballs in one cartridge?
right. We're going to get onto the VS in a bit, so let's save that for a minute. We just have a really quick break, and I say quick, it's about 5 seconds, and then we will be back. Well, welcome back. We've got from your fiance, Rob. Well done.
Yeah, she's not saying well done to me. She's saying well done, Lee, for getting feedback. Yeah, she's on his side. Yeah. So yeah, I just love the way there, Ryan. I've got to say it, the way you said that with a straight face. Have you thought about taking up acting or anything like that?
What's that?
The Speedball cartridge. You was very straight faced when you said about that.
Well, I genuinely mean it. If you're a fan of Speedball, then get that card. Right. Amico Intellivision. Let me get a picture of the Amico up on the screen so people who don't know what the Amico Intellivision is can see what this brilliant console is. Here we go.
That's the limited edition, isn't it?
That is.
That's the one that Snes-tastic wants, isn't it?
Mhm.
It'd be better in blue and white, I think.
Nah.
Red and white. A bit tacky.
Okay, so we had Tommy Tallarico with us, the CEO of Amico Vision and president of Amico Vision. He was live with us on Tuesday, and I know a lot of people have watched that stream, and we really enjoyed it. I hope people who watched it really enjoyed it as well. Tommy was an awesome guest. So I guess now, Snes-tastic's GTO Red.
Yeah.
That is an awesome color. That's the best color one that I've seen of the system. So really, there we go. It looks half not bad from Retro Advisory Board. So what I'd like to ask people is, we'll start with you, Essex Retro, as you're the guest with us this evening. What's your sort of go away thoughts on the Amico since hearing Tommy's interview a couple of days ago?
So before, probably best to maybe do 10-20 seconds on before Tommy Tallarico's interview. I couldn't think of a console I wanted less. Before that interview, I thought, I don't get it. It's mobile games. I was thinking exactly the same things as what lots of other people were thinking at the time. It's just, it doesn't appeal to me in any way. I believe that there's a swipe, the cartridge or the games are on, you either buy them or they're on swipe things. You swipe them on the device and the games. But what I'm saying is there's no real physical media, etc. For me, and as a collector, I was not interested at all. I mean, I might have got one and put it on the side and looked at it every now and then, but I didn't have any sort of ambition to play it. Then I saw Tommy Tallarico, and I'll be honest with you, from that point forward, I want one as soon as possible. I'm actually disappointed that they're coming out as far away as October, because I don't know, Harry. I mean, he's a legend in our world. Just to comment that Terminator on the Mega CD was the best. I asked him that question in the comments. That was one of the ones he played straight away. I'm thinking this guy's a legend, and not only is he a legend, he's like the best salesman I've ever met or I've ever seen. He's like the Jordan Belfort of game of game sales. I mean, I just thought to myself, what he's saying is so true with regards to his market. It's just mobile games. Oh, sorry, it's just the most sellable games on the planet. It's just that, and everything that everybody's used to sort of slate the console or to try and say that it's bad, it's bad or it's not something that anybody wants. He plays into, which is fantastic salesmanship, because he sort of says, well, all of that's brilliant. That's exactly that's why we made it the way it is. So I am still concerned a little bit about he's a great salesman, but I am still concerned a little bit about the delays. And I know it's a pre-box, but this console is going to be no good if there's a delay when you're pressing the button. So it's got to be, as long as that gets rectified, I'll be buying one, I reckon. And
awesome.
Which I was never going to buy one before.
Cool. So I'm glad you tuned into that. And how about you, Neil?
Well, I pre-ordered one. Well, I was going to pre-order one before it got delayed. So I held off a bit when they announced the delay. But after being on the stream the other day with Tommy, I'm pretty much convinced I'm gonna buy one. So yeah, Essex says, as soon as I come out, I'm gonna get one. The only choice I've got now is which colour to go for. Hopefully they'll bring out more than just the glacier white that you can get over here. But yeah, the Americans have got a lot more choice colour now. They've got this GTO red, they've got the wood grain, they've got the black one, they've got the purple one. Hopefully we'll get some of those colours over here. And then hopefully the artist decision I'll have come release days what colour to go for. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get one. You definitely convinced me the other day. So, yeah.
I think when we had I've been thinking about it really since we had the stream the other day with Snes-tastic, He's with us tonight. He made a good point after we went off the air. We're still chatting about it, and we were talking a lot about the price point. And I think he said, if saying something's too expensive and saying something's outside of my budget are two different things. And I think when he said that, I was like, yeah, it's a good point. And when Tommy came on the show and talked about all its features, it's like, okay, I can understand the price a bit more now, but it's still a lot of money to spend. And I think I have got like what I'd call like my tech budget, and I might spend money on like a new Fitbit or a TV or a console. And I don't have a PS5 yet, don't have an Xbox Series S, and the Evercade VS is coming out like towards the end of the year, and that's like 90 quid. So for me, it's not really a case of will I buy one, it's will I buy one at launch or will I land on something else, because it looks really cool. I think I'll get a lot of use out of it, and I think it fills a different niche, doesn't it, in your games? Like I can sit down and play my Xbox by myself or play my Xbox online with my mates. If you've got friends coming over and you're sat around your TV in the lounge and you're passing the controller around, and like you were saying in the stream, you're going to be doing things like, oh, you move back and forth and shoot, or you shake a dice and you throw it at the screen. It's going to be a really fun interactive game system that you play with your friends in your lounge. And it's not trying to compete with, your PlayStation, your Switch and that sort of thing. But for me, it's still within that same budget of what I want to spend my money on. But it looks really fun. It looks like a fun machine that's going to be fun to play. I think it's going to be very similar to when I first got a Wii. It's like, is a Wii better than a PlayStation? I don't think you can make that argument because it's apples and oranges, isn't it? It's like, well, is the Wii fun to play? Yes. So you play on it. It's not about, is it graphically better? And you're not going to be getting a game like Xbox and PlayStation are in direct competition with each other, aren't they? Because you've got very similar games, and it's more about what franchises are on what exclusives are on which console. But this is just so unique, and it's got so many unique selling points that it's definitely something I want to get. It's just, will I get one straight away or will I buy something else? So really, if it is delayed, again, we talking about the delays and stuff, I don't think it's going to be a bad thing if it's delayed, because I'm willing to wait for it. I'd rather it comes out and is right and is ready. And actually, if it's delayed, I'll probably have time to buy a few other consoles first, and then save up some money to buy this as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it now.
Cool. And how about you, Blunners?
Well, for me, like I think it's just a bit out of my budget at the minute. But I want to see one. I want to play one firsthand before. Like, do you know what I mean? If for me, if it was under the £200 mark, then I might be a goer. Like, because do you know what I mean? I think it would be cool, especially like at Christmas. We have families come around. Everyone just gets their phones out, and then they've all got their own controllers or whatever. So I think it's a really, really good idea. It's just I want to see one. I want to play one firsthand. I want to, do you know what I mean, actually have a go on it before I would decide what I would do. But yeah, especially Tommy's, like, you did open my eyes up to. Obviously, we didn't have a clue what market they were looking at, and I think it could be really good. But it's just the marketing. I think if he can get the marketing out there, word of mouth, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it is successful, because that's all we want. Really.
I think it kind of fills that gap between like a mobile phone and a Wii. Some mobile phone games are actually pretty good, but I really don't like microtransactions and spending 50p for an extra 10 on Candy Crush. Yeah. I'd rather say, right, this game costs 10 quid, I spend 10 quid and I've got it, than spend little bits of money here and there, even though that might end up being cheaper in the long run. I don't like having to keep spending money on games. Just don't do that.
It's like when Mario Party first came out, all four of us, pretty much all four of my family, all of us, like every night we're there, we're playing each other, and you're like doing your little games against each other. Do you know what I mean? It was brilliant, and I think if it is like that, I think, I'll be well happy. But like I said, I just want to see it and play it firsthand before I go buying it.
And how about you, Dawbs? You were super critical about the console on these videos. You're known as like the anti Amico Intellivision YouTuber.
No chance. Well, before I make any comments, Ron, I'd like to read a short statement, if I may. This is something I've written myself. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All of us at Retro Gaming Revival, and especially myself, would like to make both a heartfelt and sincere apology to all at Intellivision Entertainment and especially to their CEO, Mr. Tommy Tallarico. Our comments about the Amico were based on ill advice and improper research. Now, several weeks later, the facts on how groundbreaking the Amico is are apparent. We wish to express our sincere apologies. I would like to address the 0% comment. Upon reviewing the footage, it is apparent that there was a loss of audio. What I actually said was 100%. Therefore, other than my comments tonight, there will be no further mention of 0%. This evening marks the first step of the healing process. Tonight, the Retro Gaming Evolved performers will do what they do better than anyone else in the world: entertain you. Thank you.
Amazing.
Wow.
That's what I've been writing today. Tommy's probably never going to see that.
He'll see that. He'll see that.
I think, look, going back 2 months, it was definitely not. Like we said before, I want to see something in action. We're getting little snippets, but not very much. Certainly reading some of the things online, there's quite a lot of criticism. But speaking to Snes-tastic Pete, I admit I was like, it's got me intrigued. And obviously Tommy coming on, fair play. I still can't believe he agreed to it, to be fair. But I think Tommy, when he showed us the controller, did look pretty cool, I must admit.
Yeah, it did. It looked a lot better on being shown that on a camera than seeing a picture of it. Look at the picture and think, what's that? And when I saw a picture, it looked quite clunky and big, and I was like, but then he said, oh, it's got the pressure sensitivity, and you can tell how the touch control was like. Actually, it's very feature-rich controller, and there's 2 of them, which is why it's a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
And you can see the 250 price. You can sort of see why it's sort of justified.
I mean, I still think £250 is a lot of money to invest and spend on something, but I understand more why it's that price point. I think we looked at the games and looked at the controllers and looked at the box and thought, 250 quid? That's quite a lot, isn't it? But I kind of get it a bit more now. But again, I don't know whether I can justify spending the money on it right now, but I will eventually like to get one. I'll eventually want to have a PS5 and an Xbox Series S, but I can't just go out and buy 4 consoles, impulsively.
There was a moment for me when Tommy got that controller and he just went, I don't know if you can see my phone, but he just sort of started just dragging that line around and doing it. And I was like, this is pretty cool. This is a lot better.
It looks really cool.
Yeah,
I can't wait until we can go down like Game or Argos, where there's one hopefully set up and we can just have a look.
They need other stores will also suffice as well. Not just
sorry, there are other stores. I know, but he's only going for he's only selling it in Game and Argos and Amazon, isn't he? So obviously,
what's the what I couldn't understand was that, or what really hit home for me was much like what you said then, and the bowling piece as well. You can have if I talk to my mum, for example, she actually thinks a Wii is better than a PS5. Because she can play a Wii, she can't play the PS5. And, if my partner comes to me, my fiance comes to me and says, oh, did you see that Amico console? Because, did you see that game where you can draw like this and we can share, what we're drawing and we can compete with each other? And I say, yeah, but it's £250. Yeah, but, well, £250 maybe not too bad, And then when your missus is saying, you kind of reassuring that it's okay to buy it, I don't think the price is that bad. I mean, look, it is, but at the same time, when the whole family's getting involved in the console and it's not just your console, I think you can kind of share the load, sort of thing.
Justify.
Yeah, I was negative towards the console because I said to Tommy on the night I'd watch 1 or 2 YouTubers. I won't mention their names because I don't, particularly want to promote them, but I'd watched 1 or 2 YouTubers and I'd formed an opinion on it. And I was comparing it against the PS5 and Xbox One or Series S or X. And that's not the market that they're trying to get into. And I appreciate that now. And I understand that gap that they've identified in the market. And I think now, how awesome would it be to have that set up on Christmas Day, just sat beneath your telly and people thinking, what's that? and then all of a sudden you can, there's games on there that you can just play, and like my soon-to-be 7-year-old daughter, she's got a Nintendo Switch Lite, which she can play like Mario on and stuff. She's getting into games, but if you give her that Amico controller and the interactiveness with that, she'd be blown away. I think. I honestly think.
Yeah, totally.
I'm thinking that as well. Like if when my daughter's old enough to play games, she's not quite there yet. She's only 3, but when she's old enough to play games, I think that would be a good thing to start her on. And be like, it's a lot easier to pick up and play. So how do you play this game? Oh, you move back and forth and you shoot. You got to shoot asteroids, whatever the game is. It's just simple, isn't it?
I mean, when the original
Red Dead thing he said, what a brilliant, like I say, the guy was just, I'm a bit starstruck. I'm a bit in awe of him, to be honest, because literally every single thing he had, it was like he was prepared. Red Dead Redemption 2, I have played Red Dead Redemption 2 for hundreds of hours, or I had.
Yeah.
I haven't played it in a while. And still, after 20 hours, let's be more realistic. After 10 hours of continuous gameplay, if I go asleep, I would do that on a Saturday, go asleep that night, wake up the next morning, and I'm pressing the wrong button to get, to get the wheel out to go and pick a lasso, or whatever. And I'm like, quick, get that animal. I'm like, oh, no, I've pressed the wrong button.
Like, I like a real range of games. Like I want to do like a few games online and like play things like, Red Dead Redemption Online is quite a fun one. Things like Sea of Thieves, when you've got people on your headset and you're chatting and you're playing a game together. And then I like playing like a solo campaign where you'd like a over-the-shoulder shooter, an RPG, or like playing a VR game, or picking up, one of the retro handhelds and just playing Sonic again for the 100th time. I have a real mixture of stuff that I want to play, and I think if I had an Amico television in the lounge, it would get just as much attention as my Switch and my PlayStation. I think.
Yeah,
Neil, I just cycle through what I get.
What were you going to say, Neil?
I'd say when the original Wii came out, we used to play that with my daughter. It was around about the time when she was getting into games. I mean, she's 22 now. She's grown up and moved out. I mean, the youngest lad is 9, and this Amico, he's coming along at just the right time for me to go back in time and do that again, like what I did with my daughter. I can now do it with my son, and the Amico would be perfect for that.
Yeah, definitely. So just before we go, we're going to say thumbs up or thumbs down. Just put your thumb up or thumb down for the Amico Intellivision now. Wow. That is
big turnaround on that.
There is a turnaround.
You can pay us later, Tommy.
Sorry, Neil?
I said, Tommy, you can pay us later for that.
Just one of those Spider-Man magazines will do.
As long as he keeps the box, man, it'd be worth a bit.
Well, even that terrible Nes game that he showed us, that dinosaur game, I'll just have that. That'll be all right.
For the dinosaur.
He wasn't happy with 8,000. He was like, well, no, mine's got to be worth more than 8,000. I didn't even know what it was worth before.
Yeah, and shout out to Snes Tasket Amico Kid as well. Yeah, he's there. He is, because he was the one who started turning us around on it, wasn't he? Really, because I think before we were like not sure on it, and then he came on and gave us the reason to give it another look.
Definitely, Pete's an awesome guy. He's commenting here. We need to get him back on the stream. I'm not just saying that because he's there, Pete. Genuine. I wasn't even on the stream when Pete was there. So, but yeah, he's an awesome guy. And thanks for hooking us up with Tommy and it was really good. We'll just have a quick ad break and then we've got one more topic to go through. I won't keep anyone much longer. We'll wrap it up in a minute. Okay, welcome back. We have talked about this before, but I just want to give sort of 5 minutes just talking about the Evercade VS, which is coming out in October, November, I believe. We have discussed this. I think we've discussed this on a stream, or you guys discussed it when I wasn't here, certainly. Just to ask, is anyone planning on buying one? I'll start. I'm sort of, I would say maybe 70-80% in favour of buying one at the moment, I'll be honest, but I'll tell you, I'm more interested in getting an Evercade again, believe it or not. I don't know what's going on. I was the man, like one of the first people to get one and sell it, but I do. Like,
is it the cartridges? It's the cartridges.
I think it's the
It's not the
cartridges
console,
thing.
is it? It's the cartridges.
I think it's the cartridges. I think some of the cartridges are pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I'll get a VS or an Evercade in the future, but it's definitely on my horizon. I would love to speak to someone from Evercade, get them on the hair, and really pick their brains about the VS. So if anyone from the Evercade community, that can be from Evercade Blaze Entertainment, Evercade community, their Facebook group, the non-official Evercade fans group. I want to get this right. Is it Evercade fans group non-official?
Non-official. Yeah.
Anyone from there want to, join us on here and chat about the Evercade, and specifically the VS, is something that we're all certainly interested in. So just drop me an email, retrogamingrevival@gmail.com, and we can sort that out. So Blunners, just quickly on to you. Evercade VS, yes or no?
Nah, it's a no for me. I'm not really an Evercade guy at the minute. I'm more interested in the Amico.
Cool. Yeah, I'd probably go with you on that. I think Amico is innovative, isn't it? If you walked into a shop, someone's playing an Evercade VS, playing, I don't know, Double Dragon arcade game from 1990 or whenever it came out, or an Amico. I know it's the price point, but what's gonna draw your attention? It's gonna be that Amico, isn't it? So triangle face VS.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to get a VS. Because I've still got the Evercade and I've got some cartridges. So if I get a VS, I've already got a whole bunch of games I can play on it. And I was interested in the Worms cartridge, but I didn't think I'd really play Worms a lot on a handheld by myself. You want to play it with mates. It's like if I can get a VS, I might get the Worms cartridge they do. And again, it's £90 and it's coming out not long before Christmas. My birthday's just after Christmas as well. So I'm like, well, I'll try and get it for my birthday or Christmas. And I expect the Amico is probably going to be delayed beyond that at this point, I think. So yeah, I think I would probably just have a punt on it for £90, because I've already got the cartridges as well. Like I said, some of the cartridges are really good. Some of them are a bit naff. The thing that I found disappointing with the Evercade initially was the cartridges it came with weren't that great. Like the Intel one that had Earthworm Jim and Clay Fighters on, the other games on there weren't that great. It had like Booger Man isn't the best game. I wasn't really that fussed with the Atari cart they had. But then when I got things like the what the other one's got, the Pico one was pretty cool. Had some RPGs on there, and then the what was the other cartridge that I picked up? The Mega Cat Studios one was pretty fun. So when you actually pick some of the other cartridges, there are some pretty good ones on there, which I don't know if I'll get the one with all the Speedball games on. I might get that.
No, I think that's we'll get to that in a minute. Actually, we'll wrap up on that. But Rob, how about you? I know you've got an Evercade and you've done a really good video on Evercade and your thoughts on it. So do check that out on Rob's channel, Essex Retro Gamer. But VS, is it for you?
Yeah, I think they've got you, haven't they? That's the thing. And it was the same with what Triangle Face just said. We're in a position where I've already invested. So I've either got to cut my losses like you did and get it gone, or what's another £90 when you're already invested as far as I am? I've got every cartridge other than, I think I might be missing a couple. I'm certainly missing the Speedball one, that's for sure.
I don't think that's out yet.
But the fact is that I've invested. So because I've invested, it sort of feels as if £90 and I'm going to be able to actually get one of the features that I should have got with the first one, which was be able to use a cable and use it on a screen, because my Evercade gives me nothing but trouble with the cable I've got.
Yeah, same. I had that problem. Yeah, it's meant to be able to work on TV. It just doesn't. So
no, it flickers on and off and all sorts. So yeah, I think, long way to answer a short question. Yes, I think I probably will get it. It'll probably stay in the box and, it'll be the way it is, but hopefully not.
Keep it sealed in the box.
No.
And how about you, Neil? I know you've had a bit of a up and down relationship with the Evercade, bit like myself, really.
Yeah.
So VS, is it for you?
Like you, I at the minute I'm all in on the Amico. That's got my attention more. But like I say, and like you say as well, it's probably going to be delayed again. I hope not, but if it is, then yeah, I think I will actually pick up a VS. I mean, 90 quid. You know, the price is decent. I probably won't invest in any cartridges other than what comes with it, and you know, if it's any good, and I decide to keep it and collect, then I might work my way back, collecting all the previous cartridges that have been released.
Even Atari 1 and 2? Would you pick those
Was it
two up?
Namco Museum?
Yeah, I mean, they're numbered. I mean, if I'm going to start, then I might as well get them all. So probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how about you, Dawbs? Or actually, Rob might be selling one, so maybe you can hook up with Rob if you watch this.
I'll be a CD32 if you want.
A straight swap, no chance. Absolutely no way.
And how about you, Dawbs?
No, I think I'm done with the Evercade. I think I've bought one. I've bought one, had a problem with it, reported it. They ignored me. They blocked me. I sold it, and I think I'm probably the only person in the world who actually made a profit selling it. And I sold it with 7 carts still sealed, which is that shows how much I played it. Just
did you tell it to someone in Italy or something? Or?
Yeah, Spain.
Spain.
Yeah,
that was it.
I sold it to someone in Spain.
The Costa del Sol playing his Evercade now, sat in the sun.
Well, I'm still waiting for my feedback from eBay, so he's not giving me positive feedback yet. But no, I mean it looks quite cool. It looks like a NES, but I think it's just nah.
Can we have a percentage, Dawbs, of what you're going to get?
Yeah, come on.
Well, you're breaking up, Essex. I can't hear you, mate. Sorry. What percentage of me getting one? I've learned over the past few weeks never to say never.
Good answer.
So, if I saw it in game for 50 quid, then I probably would. But at £90, 5% chance.
Okay, well, you know.
I can't see it, you know.
Well, if anyone's from the Evercade community is watching, and you want to be on our stream, and maybe you can change Dawbs' mind and get him up to 100%. Here's your opportunity. Like I say, I've said the email address, retrogamingrevival@gmail.com. You know, chuck us an email and we'll happily have you on, and we'll talk the VS and Evercade as much as you want. But just before we go, it's been an awesome stream tonight. I've really enjoyed it. But just before we go, I've got from Pete Snes-tastic, knowing the gameplay trailers and development clips and others. After speaking to Tommy, are there any Amico games grabbing your attention? I saw some people playing Hot Wheels, which I thought was pretty awesome. I don't know if anyone else has seen that on the Amico. If you YouTube it's a really basic game, but it's really cool. You set traps for other people, and yeah, I thought that looked pretty good. Anyone else looking forward to any specific games on the Amico?
I'm more looking forward to the features on the games themselves. I like the idea of like having the dice that you throw because I'm really into the tabletop games as well. And one thing we often do is have a few friends round and play some board games up at table, and then retire to the lounge and normally play Jackbox Party Pack is one we do quite a lot. Like you get your phone out and you can do stuff on the TV screen. And I think, you know, playing a game where you can shake a dice and a control and throw at the screen, I think would be pretty cool. So looking forward to that sort of stuff, I think.
Anyone else? Evil Knievel? We were looking forward to that one.
I've still not seen that. I need to look it up.
You need to look it up. It does look quite cool. And I keep saying it and you all laugh because it's Evil Knievel, but it does actually look quite good.
I think I'm really interested to see what that wood grain finish looks like. Like actually, you know, the reality of it. Because, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a quality, because of the cost, you would think it's going to be quality, but how are they doing it? You know, is it one piece of, is it going to be like a MacBook Air, or is it going to be like I don't know, I don't even know, an old 90s laptop or something? I just wonder what that final finish is going to look like with that wood grain. That's all, because it looks really nice in the pictures.
How about you, Neil?
Games. I haven't really looked into the games. It's like Triangle Face says, it's more the features that I've looked up on YouTube. That's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, the games will come. You get 6 games, but more games will come, and obviously more games will come out. Will make use of more of the features of the console and controller. Oh yeah, just the features mainly for me.
Awesome. And Dawbs, any games you're looking forward to?
I quite like the sound of the poker one, if I'm honest. I know you can play poker with a pack of cards, but what happens if you get a pack of cards and there's 5 cards missing, or they're marked cards? So I quite like the idea of playing like Texas Hold'em with like 4 or 5 mates using the controllers. That sounds quite cool. Yeah, poker one for me, definitely.
Cool. Well, the Amico is something we'll be talking about in the future, and I'm sure we'll get Snestastic back on to give us an update in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I just thank you, Rob, Essex Retro Gamer? You've been an awesome guest tonight. I've loved seeing your collection and the things you've shown us tonight. It's been really interesting. You've been a really interesting guest as well. You're always welcome back on the channel. I'm sure, speaking on behalf of everyone, when I say that. Thank you to Triangle Face as well for joining us again tonight. I'm sure.
Anytime. Happy to be here.
Thank you. We do appreciate that.
Will be good to see Ollie back though, as also a fan of the show who watches. But, I appreciate being invited on.
Yeah, he is an oracle. Next week, next Wednesday, we've got ColecoVision Group. Aaron from that is joining us. And then the week after, what's the date, Dawbs? Is it the
26th, I think?
26th, Wednesday, the 26th of May at 8 p.m. We've got TV legend, gaming TV legend from, he had his own TV show, I believe. Big Boy Barry joining us.
Amazing, I can't wait.
Yeah,
amazing.
Which really looking forward to. But until then, thanks everyone for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you all soon. So thanks for tuning in.
Oh, Ryan, before we go.
Yes.
I know you said that Ollie's not with us tonight, and just let everyone know, Ollie's not feeling very well, so get well soon, Ollie. He's got terrible constipation at the minute. So get well soon, Ollie. Take care, mate.
All right, on that note, see you all soon.
Bye, mate.
Bye.